Hello everyone, welcome. So if you want, you can join our 7th batch online training on Google Earth Engine for remote sensing analysis. You can easily join with our training session, and this 7th batch training will be 16, 17 and 18 December. So if you want, you can join this training, and first 5 people they can get 50% promotion. So if you want, you can get this 50% promotion and enroll this online training session. Then you can, as soon as possible, you can contact this WhatsApp number, as well as you can also contact this email. Okay, so this is our 7th batch training session. So if you want to join this 7th batch training session, then you can contact this WhatsApp number and email address. Okay,
Recording in progress.
hello everyone, good evening. So can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So welcome to the 3rd day training session of beginners course on Google Earth Engine, and I am Mijan and I will be tutor for this course. And today our course content will be, first of all, we discuss about the computation using the satellite images. Actually, in this time we will discuss about the band calculation, how you can easily calculate the different bands, and you can calculate the different types of spectral indices, NDVI, NDWI or other indices what you need. Okay, so we will try to show you that what's the process. You can easily calculate the any satellite bands. You can calculate the any equation you can easily solve using this computation using the satellite images, or band calculation or raster calculation you can do, okay, in Google Earth Engine. Then we also discuss about the introduction to Landcover classification map. Mainly in this part I will try to show you what is the process for making the Landcover classification map in Google Earth Engine platform. Then how to make the LULC map in GEE. Then how to export this map as a TIFF format. You can easily export this Landcover classification map, easily export from the Google Earth Engine platform. And then I also discuss some how you can easily monitor the air quality parameter such as nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, or what parameters are available in Google Earth Engine dataset. You can using the Sentinel-5, how you can easily do for your monitoring your air quality monitoring in the specific region. Okay, so we will cover this part. And finally we also try to show you that how you can filtering and displaying the Sentinel-2 imagery. And yesterday training session I will try to show you the how you can easily filter and display the Landsat imagery, and today in this last session I will try to show you the how you can easily filtering and displaying the Sentinel-2 imagery. And I also try to show you how you can easily calculate this using this images, how we calculated the NDWI. Okay, so So first of all, introduction to Landcover classification. So Landcover classification is the observed the biophysical cover of the Earth's surface, and it's indicating the physical land types such as forest or open water where land use documents how people are using the land. Okay, and by comparing the land cover data and maps over a period of time, we can document the land use trends and changes. So what's the process to make the land cover classification map in Google Earth Engine? So this process is the same for all of the satellite imagery such as Landsat or Sentinel. You can follow all of this same procedure. Okay, so first of all, you need to selecting your ROI. Suppose you want to make a LULC map for Dhaka city. So first of all, you need to make a shapefile and then upload this shapefile in Google Earth Engine and selecting your ROI. Okay, so first of all, you need to selecting your ROI and then choosing and filtering your image collection, which image you want to use for make the land cover classification map. It will be Landsat or Sentinel, what you need, just you can choose, and then you need to filter this image collection. And yesterday's session I will try to show you the process how you can filter the Landsat imagery. And then you need to collecting the some training point. You can collect some training point for individual features such as urban, water body, then vegetation or bare land. Okay, you can collect some training point. After this, you need to merging all of this training point together. You need to merge all of this training point, and using this training point, you need to make a training data set. Okay, you make a training data set by sampling regions. Then you need to create the classifier and classify the image, and Google Earth Engine has a lot of classifier will be available. You can use the any classifier, and what classifier you need to best, you can try to find this classifier and use this for your own specific land cover classification map. And then you need to create the classified image and then display the result. Okay, so this is the procedure for making the land cover classification map in Google Earth Engine, and this is the introductory part. So that's why I will not go in the depth of Earth Engine classification, such as how you can easily calculate the every feature and how you can easily make the for the every feature chart or other things. I cannot go in this time. Just I will try to show you this part, how you can easily make the land cover classification map and follow this all of this procedure one by one. Okay, so I will try to show you that. Okay, so a small project of LULC map using Google Earth Engine. So you can see this is the small project of LULC map using the Google Earth Engine platform. So this is the code link. You can easily access this code from here, and now I will try to explain this code and make a land cover classification map for the another region, so that you can easily understand the background of this code. Okay, so just I simply copy this code link from here. So you can see here their procedure. I also okay, and we also follow the another. Suppose I want to make a land cover classification for the region of Dhaka city. So I first of all selecting my ROI. So I simply select my ROI from here. I have already uploaded my shapefile. I simply click to here. It will be imported in my code editor. I can simply rename it and cap this name is the ROI. Okay, so then our second process is that you need to choosing and filtering your Landsat, your image satellite imagery. So you can simply search here the satellite imagery. Suppose I want to make the Landsat 8 top of atmospheric I simply select my image collection from the top of the code editor, and I simply click to here. This will be imported. Okay, I can simply grab this name is L8, and now I want to filter this image collection with my specific region of interest, region of time frame, and I also filter for the image properties. And we already discussed a lot of things about the previous training session, so I just simply write this code. In this time I take a variable, and after this I call my image collection L8. Then I use here the filter bounds so that this image collection will intersecting with my RY. Then I simply use here the filter metadata, and I briefly discussed every function in the previous session, so that I just simply write this code in this time. Okay, and then I simply use here the filter date. Suppose I want to make a Landcover classification map for year of 2020. I simply select my start date 1st January, then I simply select my end date 2020 December 31. Okay, then I simply take here the median pixel value, and it will be clipped with my region of interest, and I want to show this result. I simply use here the map dot add layer function. This object is the image, and I simply click to the run. And focusing the center, I simply use here the map center object. Okay, I focus my region of interest, and zoom level will be 10. I simply click on the run. Image will be added here, and now I want to add here the visualization parameter. I can simply click to my setting button, layer properties. I select here the true color composite B4, B3, and B2. Reflect stress 98%. I simply click to the apply. Then I simply click on the import. And after this, I simply copy this variable name, and we already know that after object name always put here the visualization parameter. So in this time my visualization parameter is that visual image vis parameter, and I also gave this layer name is true color. Okay, so in this time I simply filtering my specific image collection for my specific region. Okay, so we done here the two process. First process selecting our RY, and third process choosing and filtering our image collection. So now our third process is that collecting the training point. You can collect some training point for your every feature. It will be water body or
Sir,
vegetation.
sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, like generally we use dot mean only, sir. Why are we using median, sir? Is there any specific reason for it, sir?
So it's just a statistical function. You can, when you need the median function, then you can take the median of this image pixel value between this time frame, or if you need the mean or average pixel value between this time frame, then you can take the median. Okay, and
Okay.
okay, so now our third process is the collecting the training point. So we can collect the some training point from here, from our image. So we can collect the training point some way. Suppose if you can go to the field and you can directly collect some training point from this field, and then you can just make this training point as a shapefile. You will just make a shapefile of this training point, and you can easily import this training point in your shape in your asset tab. You can easily import it, and then you can use this training point in here. Okay, but in this time I can take the training point from here directly from these images, because in this time there is the no ground truth data or ground truth training point. So that's why I can simply take here the some training point from our satellite imagery, and you can take the training point from the different way. So here you can see I simply use here the a true color composite. Okay, you can use the different type of band combination, you can use the different type of band combination, and you can try to find out the specific feature. Okay, you can try to, suppose I will try to show you that from the Google. You can simply search at the band combination of Landsat 8, simply search here, and you can simply go to this link. Here you can see different types of band combination will be available, and this combination will be identify for a specific feature. You can see this is the natural color, and this natural color, you can see in this natural color specify the specific feature. Okay, here you can see healthy vegetation will be green, unhealthy polar is the brown, urban feature appear the white. Okay, and this is the another band combination you can get from the another feature. Just you can read this article. I hope you can easily understand the different types of band combination, and you can easily use the band combination from here. Okay, just you can change the band combination from here. Okay, you can just simply change the band combination and click to apply, and then you can easily take collecting your training point. Okay, for the different feature. So now we completed our two process. So our third process is that we need to collect some training point. So we can collect the same training point from our satellite imagery. So first of all I can collect some training point from for the water body. So I can simply click on the marker. Okay, after this you can see a new line of code will be added in your code editor. This is the geometry, it's the default is the geometry. Okay, so I can simply click on the configure button or edit layer properties, simply click to here, and then I simply change the rename it. It's just a variable, you can just any name, but I want to take the for the water body. So for this I simply use here the, suppose I can use here the T water. Okay, for training data for water. Okay, T water, and then import as it is the feature collection because it collects some feature. Okay, I simply use the feature collection, and property I can put the property will be same for all of this feature. Okay, you can use the any property name what you need. Just I can simply use here the Landcover. Okay, and value we already know that you can use the any value, but we already know that JavaScript it will be starting from the 0 index. It will be start from the 0. Just I simply put here the 0. Okay, and then I simply click the OK button. Okay, so you can see it will be also change here. So I can collect some training data for water from here. So you can take some training point from here. It's totally depend on your region. If your region is the big, then you can take the some training point or more than 50 or 60, you can take some training point from here. Okay, but if your region is the small, then you can get some less than 30 training point for the every feature. So in this time I can simply take the some training point here, then I can take the another feature. Suppose in this time I simply I do the same process. Suppose in this time I take the training point for the urban or build up area. So for this I can simply use here the, first of all I need to use here the simply edit layer. I can simply put here the T urban. You can use the any name T urban. Then I simply use here the geometry as a feature collection. Import property will be same for all of this feature. I simply use here the Landcover, and value will be first of all 0, then it will be 1. Okay, so 1 is indicating the urban feature, you can remember it, and 0 is indicating the water body. So I simply click on the OK, and then I simply take here the some urban feature. Okay, I then take the some urban feature from here. Okay, then we take the another feature for collecting the training point. I simply click with the new layer and click on the edit layer button. We can do for the same procedure, and I can grab the layer name is here T vegetation. I simply use here the T vegetation. Okay, and then I simply use here the geometry import as the feature collection. Property will be Landcover, and value I can grab the 0 1, it will be 2. Okay, I simply click on the OK. After this I take the some vegetation in this time from here. So you can use the different types of combination, band combination. You can easily get the type with different type of combination from here, and you can easily identify where the vegetation will be available or not. Okay, or other feature will be available or not. But in this time I can take some randomly vegetation. Okay, then I also take the another feature, such as I can take here the T urban, I can take the T Berlin. Okay, I can simply paste here the T Berlin, and imported feature collection. Property will be the same for Landcover, and then value it will be 3. Okay, and I take some here for the Berlin from here. So I take some Berlin, okay, I take the some Berlin feature. So now our third process will be completed. We can collect some the training point for our every feature. So now we need to merging all of this training point together. Okay, and then we need to make a training dataset by using the sample regions. So now we need to merging all of this training point one by one. So for this I can take a variable. Suppose I can take the variable and take this variable name is the class name. So you can use the any variable name. Okay, and then I simply use the merge function for merging all of this feature together. So I simply use here my feature name, suppose T water, and then it will be merged with the T urban, then it will be also merged with T vegetation, it will be merged with T Berlin. Okay, so now it will be merging all of this feature together. So now I want to show this result. Okay, I simply use the print and use the class names. This variable I want to simply click on the print function. So here you can see there are the total 47 elements. It means that we can get the all of these 47 training point. Okay, so now you can see the feature you can get all of these properties. Okay, you can see 0, it means indicating the water body. You can also check here the another 0. Okay, so we can merging all of this training point together. So now we need to make a training data set using this training point. Okay, we need to make the training data set. After this we just make the training data set using the classifier, then we need to use the classified images. Okay, so now we will completed our third process. I will try to show you that. So we completed the merging the training point. So now we need to make a training data set by sampling region. Okay, so for making this training data set, we extract the training data from select bands for the image. Okay, so we need to select some bands. After this we need to creating our training data set. Okay, so first of all I select my specific band from here. So I can take a variable and give this variable name is the bands. Okay, I make a list these bands. I simply use here the B2 bands, then also use here the B3, sorry, capital B3. I also use here the B4. I also use here the B5, and I also use here the B6 and B7. Okay, so now I want to extract the training data from selected these bands of the image. Okay, so I take a variable and give this variable name is the training. You can use the any variable name, and I simply call my image collection. Here is this is my image collection variable name image. I simply copy this image collection variable name and paste here. Okay, and after this I simply select my bands. So here I already make a list for bands. I simply select these bands, I simply paste here, and then I use here the sample region function for making the training data set. Okay, sample regions. Okay, and you can get all of this argument of this function. I put all of this one by one. If you want, you can just put all of this argument in the sequentially, or if you want, you can also make a dictionary and put the keyword and key value one by one, then it will be okay. Okay, I make a dictionary and put all of this keyword and key value one by one. So first of all, collection. So I want to make a training data set from this training point. So here you can see my all of this training point will be stored in a variable. This variable's name is class names. So this is my collection value. Okay, I simply copy this class names and paste here, and after this properties. So when you collecting our training point for every feature, we define the properties. Okay, this properties name you can check from here again. Its properties name is the Landcover. Okay, for every feature we can use the same properties. So just I simply use here this properties name is the Landcover. Okay, and I make a list from here and put the Landcover. Okay, and scale is the resolution of your satellite imagery. So in this time land set for 30. Okay, sorry, 30, and all of these things not needed for this time. I simply remove. Okay, so now I want to print my training data set. So I simply use here the print function and then simply copy this the training variable and paste here. Okay, so I can simply click on the run. We can get the extract the training data from select bands of the images. So you can see here, you can simply go to the feature and you can see here properties, you can see the 7 properties, because here I use the 7 bands for predict our Landcover classification. Okay, so here you can see properties. I simply click to here. You can get all of this for the, you can get the all of this band value for this specific point. Okay, and this indicating the 0, it means this is the water body. Okay, we can get all of this training point and extracting the data from the selected bands of the image. Okay, so now I create our fourth process. So now you can see I make a training data set by sample regions. So now I need to make a classifier. So here the Google Earth Engine has a different types of classifier will be available, and every classifier has a different function will be available. But in this time, this is the introductory part, so I don't go in the depth of the every classifier. I just make a class. I take a classifier, and then I classify my image collection. Okay, so you can simply search here the docs tab, the classifier. You can see there are the different types of classifier, and every classifier has the different algorithm or different machine learning will be available. Okay, and every classifier has the for the every different Landcover classification making the map. Okay, decision tree. Okay, you can see different types of classifier will be available here. So now I need to make a classifier. It will be random forest, it will be support vector machine, it will be classification and regression trees. Okay, so just I need to make a classifier. So I make a classifier. Suppose in this time I simply use this classifier, classifier the Ismail Krat. It is the classification and regression trees, and this is the totally the machine learning or statistical. If you want to, you can learn from the lot of things. You can simply read this online or other sources for this function, what will the background of this function. You can easily understand all of these statistical things. So in this time I will just use this classifier and make the classification. Okay, I will not go the depth. So I simply copy this classifier. Okay, and I take a variable. First of all, I take a variable and give this variable name is classifier. You can use any variable name, and then I simply use here this variable name classifier dot Ismail Kart, and then I train this classifier. This is the classifier, and I want to train this classifier with my data set which I get from here. Okay, one by one I make the training data set. I want to train this classifier with this training data set. So for training this data set, I need to use here the train function. Okay, I can use here the together here the train function. If you want, you can also take the another variable and use this function, but in this time I make a classifier. I use here the this classifier, and after this I want to train my data set using this classifier. So that's why I use here the train function. Okay, and I simply put all of this argument one by one. I make the dictionary. So for this I simply use here the curly bracket between two sides. I make a curly bracket between two sides and put all of this argument one by one. First of all, feature. So feature, I want to these features come from my training data set. So here I already make a training data set for extracting the training data from the selected bands of the image. So in this time this variable name is the training. So this is my keyword key value. I simply copy my key value and make a dictionary here. So I simply paste here. Then class property. So class property, we already defined here our property. This property name is the Landcover. So I simply use here the Landcover, and after this input properties, and input properties, here I input my specific band, and I already make a bands of all my selecting bands. You can see I use the bands, and this is my bands variable name. I simply copy this. Okay, input properties, this value is the bands, and then I don't need to another thing, so I simply remove all of these things one by one. Okay, so you can see I just take a classifier. It can be any classifier. What you need, you just put this classifier. After, you need to train this classifier with your data set. So here I already make the training data set. So just I want to train this data set and make this classifier and train this data set and give this classifier, and all of this thing is stored in the classifier variable. Okay, so now I want to need to classified image. So I make this classifier. So now I want to run the classification. Okay, so for this I simply take the another variable. Suppose this variable name, I can give this variable name is classified, and then I simply